Yo, what up, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. In today's live stream, we got a bunch to talk about surrounding Big Blue. We're going to take a look into the past and give you some more takeaways from that first preseason game. I'm going to give some stock up and some stock down to a couple of players on this roster. Then I've also got 5 players that I'm deeming as roster bubble cut candidates, even potentially surprise cut candidates. We'll talk about them. And then we're going to go ahead and look at a week 2 in the preseason preview against the Carolina Panthers. So we got a bunch to talk about on today's video. Hit that thumbs up icon if you want us to start the show. But as we always do, where are the real ones at? Let's hit a real one roll call. I already see a bunch of real ones down in the comments like Nope and Aiden and Chris Coons and Moonfits and JAA. John Lieberman. What up, my man? Linus10 is in the chat. What's up? He says, real one. Definitely. Rosenberry. What up? Chaviri Sedino Shorts. I know I'm not saying that right, but I'm giving you love. That's all that matters. Shout out to Gus Nini. Hazelnut22 says, kick it. We're kicking it, my man. Nope says real one. Dennis Schumar in the building. Ray Nunez, what up, Ray? C. Gorms. Eric Cruz, my man Eric Cruz has been a Super Chat MVP as of late. Shout out to Mr. Cruz. Hope all is well. Hope you had a good weekend. Big Ron in the building. My man, we got some OGs in the chat today. Marty is here. We got Jason Bloody Hayes. Taki Whitley says, yo! Seeps, what up, my man?
What up, Marshall Green? How you doing?
I'm good. Oh, Bulls t-shirt today, huh?
I just realized this might piss off a couple of the New Yorkers in here, but you guys are going to have to deal with it today. So.
A little Chirac Bulls, huh?
A little Chirac Bulls.
It's a good tee, man. It's a good tee. Looks good on you, man. You kind of give me some Scalabrini vibes wearing that.
A little bit.
Was he a favorite player of yours growing up? Had to have been, right?
You know, that's a little harassed, as we like to say it.
I don't know what that means.
No, he was. I actually met Scalabrini, and he complimented my red hair.
He freaking better have. Have you ever seen that video where Scalabrini's talking about him playing a one-on-one against, like, the average Joes? And it's like, dude, I would cook every single one of you guys. I think the quote was, I'm closer to Kobe Bryant than you are closer to me.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's love to see that. Don't know how we got there, but good Bull shirt, man. Marty says, let's go Chicago Bulls.
Thanks, Marty.
Subscribe to the Bulls Report.
Yeah, subscribe.
If you're a Bulls fan, subscribe to the Bulls Report by Chat Sports. They do some pretty cool stuff over there. Their host, he kind of stinks a little bit, but he looks a lot like this guy right here. So go subscribe over there. Chris says, let's go Jets. Ha, 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 ha. I'm sorry. Chris, I don't find that very funny. I don't really know what's funny about that, to be quite honest with you. But Chris, happy for you to be here. Hopefully you hit that thumbs up icon. And let's go Giants. Let's go Giants. Crim's dad says Seeps is going directly to jail. I don't know what's going on with that next weigh-in over there. But, Seeps might have to go to prison. He opened some mail that had my name on it, and it directly said, not for Seeps. Should we report Seeps to the authorities for stealing my mail?
That did not happen.
It did not happen. I came home from vacation expecting a nice package from Crim's dad, and it was already open. And I don't know if there was anything taken out of there either. So
I wouldn't. There was a 0% chance of me opening that until it said not Seeps, and I was like, this is pretty much an invitation to open it.
That's good stuff. Love that. I do want to ask this question. Be honest with me. Grade the Giants' performance from this past Friday against the Detroit Lions. A, B, C, D, or F. Get out the red pen. Be honest for you. What is your grade for how the Giants played? Seeps, you watched every snap of that snooze fest. We did it together.
Yeah.
How would you grade the Giants' performance? Overall, I think it was just a boring, sloppy first preseason game.
Yeah, it was a sloppy game. I like the individual performances. Like, I'm thinking of, I was about to say Danny DeVito. I'm thinking about Tommy DeVito. I thought he looked good. I'd probably say B-. I think the Giants probably in the B- range. Special teams definitely an issue. We saw that.
Special teams left a lot to be desired. I don't want to take too much away from the special teams because, look, a lot of guys on the field in special teams aren't going to be the ones suiting up once we get down to a 53-man roster. A lot of those guys are going to be practice squad, if not people not in the NFL anymore. I'd go C+, B-. I thought the offensive line, didn't play all that well, but there were some bright spots in bad areas, if that makes sense. Like John Michael Schmitz played great. I think it was 21 or 23 pass set reps and didn't allow a single pressure, didn't allow a single sack or QB hit. So that's what you want to see out of your second-round center. I was a little bit disappointed by Joshua Izudu, the third-round selection in the 2022 NFL Draft. I thought he was just okay. Didn't play well enough to win a starting job, in my opinion. So I was a little bit disappointed by him.
Bryce Ford-Wheaton.
Bryce Ford-Wheaton, total bust. He just might not actually be good at football.
Turns out, yeah.
The hype train was really fun, though.
I know.
I mean, look, if he scores this Friday, I'm right back on it.
Yeah,
I'm right back on it. I'm going to be getting his bust for the Hall of Fame, so that was fun. Overall, I'd go B-, C+. But I am excited for this week because we might actually be seeing some starters on the football field. We have some quotes about Brian Daboll saying who might be in and who might be out. We'll get to those in a second, but let's go to this guy, my man Tutu Azuri, coming in with a $5 super chat. Tuto, what's up, man? He said, massive salutes in respects to Big Boss Marshy and Seeps and all the diehard Giants fans in the building. And please slap all the stinky boys and losers out of here. My man Tuto, we appreciate you, brother. Hope all is well. Keep on rehabbing from the injury. Your team, they need you out there as soon as possible.
Also, a new profile pic.
New profile picture did kind of throw me off a little bit.
If this is actually you.
Those freaking triceps are massive.
Like huge triceps.
My man eats weights.
No, he's got a 20-pound dumbbell right here.
My man Tutu Azuri, the swollest and the strongest Giants fan in the chat right now. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the program, man. We really appreciate it. I want to know this, though. We've picked up a whole bunch of subscribers over the past couple days, weeks, and months, and there's some people in the chat that I've never seen before. So I want you to shout out your city for me down below in the comment section. We are live from Dallas, Texas. That is where the Chat Sports Studios are. And no, before you ask it, I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan. I just live here for work. Dwayne is in Queens. Marty, Chesapeake, Virginia. Crim's dad said, Tuto, did you hear about what Seep said about you? Sheesh. We got a little snitching going on.
Crimsy's always trying to put me down.
Tony is in London. Jesus Diaz says, shout out to these people. Shout out to you, Jesus Diaz. Aaron Martinez is in Charlotte. Hi is in Yonkers. What up, man? Dwayne says, living in Dallas. Love that. We're here as well. We're in enemy territory, so we gotta squad up and get together as a team. Soren Johnson's in Italy. Jason's in Jersey. Fluke Nasty, South Jersey. John Lieberman is in Las Vegas. Put 100 on black for me if you lose. Do not contact me, but if you win, let me know. Michael is in Long Island. Love that. A whole bunch of real one. Crim's dad is still in Rolly's closet. There's been about 8 months that have passed since he first entered that closet. Rolly, you got a man in your closet. That's weird. Oh, lordy. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. We got 90 people watching, only 33 likes. That participation rate is terrible. And I'm tempted to kind of just shut the live stream off. So if we don't get to 50 likes, we're just going to turn this off.
You're just going to stare at the screen for the
next we might have to just put the Eagles live show on this channel and make you watch it. So hit that thumbs up icon if you are ready for the show. We've got a bunch of fun stuff to talk about. I'm excited. Football is almost here, but kind of here, but almost not here. So we're going to do that. MG, hi, says, hi, MG. How have you been after our first preseason game? I've been good. Watch the game over again. Have some new takeaways. Have some more people that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. I'm excited for week 2, though. I'm excited for week 2. John says, yo, Matt, I bet you missed Don's drive-in. I don't know what that's all about. Crim's dad says Joe Long is from North Cali. I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere. Jesus says, I have practice in 35 minutes. Get some water in you, man, because it's freaking hot out there.
Yeah, it is
Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Jesus says, F the Eagles. Love that. We're up to 61 likes. Keep hitting that thumbs up icon, and let's dive into it right now. On today's show, I'm going to be giving you 5 surprise cut candidates for the New York Football Giants, as they will be having to trim their roster from 90 to 53 in the next couple of weeks. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and this year in 2023 for the NFL, it's a little bit different than it has been in the past couple of years, because in the most recent years, you had to cut down your roster almost after every single preseason game and get to a certain number. But that is not going to be happening this year. There will be just one firm date to reduce the roster from 90 players to the initial 53. This year, it will be on Tuesday, August 29th. And I know this, for the players the Giants cut, all the players that they move on from and keep, we are going to be making a video about it, because when the Giants make a move, we make a video. We might be putting out multiple videos on that Tuesday. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss it when the Giants get down to their official first 53-man roster. Let's start with the player that was drafted by the Giants a couple of years ago in the mid-rounds of the draft. He was a free agent, and they brought him back this cycle. What about Oshane Ximines, the edge rusher? This is a player that I think is on the roster bubble right now, and we kind of saw why in the first preseason game against the Detroit Lions. He doesn't bring much pass rush pop. He's not good in the run game. He consistently gets washed down. But the Giants brought him back, and whether it was because they had someone still in the building that had a really strong draft profile grade on Oshane Ximines coming out of Old Dominion, or whatever it may be, he is back, but I'm not sure it will be for long. And if the Giants move on from him, they will save almost $1 million on the cap. You take a look, though, at this front four and really the outside linebackers as well. I would say right now, Oshane Ximines is that third outside linebacker. I'll say fourth if you want to include Jihad Ward in that discussion. I see him more, though, as an edge in a 3-4. But you saw Timon Fox looked really good for a UDFA in the first preseason game. He looked better than Oshane Ximines. I also thought the UDFA in 2023, Baldonado, looked better than him. He had 2 sacks, except one of them got brought back due to an unnecessary roughness because he slapped the quarterback in the head. But you saw the pass rush pop. You saw the ability to bend the corner and get pressure on the quarterback, and that's what you want, something Oshane Ximines has not been able to do through the first 4 years of his NFL career. Let's go from the edge of the defense to the secondary. What about Bobby McCain, the do-it-all safety? He can play strong safety. He can play free safety. He can come down in the box, and he can play a little bit of slot corner. I'm going to list him as a surprise cut candidate. We'll show the depth chart in a second. The Giants just have a lot of good young players at that position, and I think that he could be on the outside looking in. A way that he could stay on this roster is maybe get a little bit more slot cornerback reps, as that is a position that I am extremely worried about for this defense. But you look at the safeties, and you know Xavier McKinney is going to make it. You know Jason Pinnock is going to make it. You know Dane Belton is going to make it. So you got 3 safeties already locked into this position group. It's really going to come down to Bobby McCain versus the 7th-round rookie out of the University of Houston, Gervarius Owens, someone that I am a big fan of, someone that has popped off the screen for me when I've watched this team in training camp as well as the preseason. He was all over the field against the Lions. I like Gervarius Owens, not because I think right now he's a better football player, because he's younger and has more upside, and I just think he fits what the Giants need a little bit more. Would not be shocked if Bobby McCain made the roster, but I am keeping my eyes out for him on that roster bubble. Let's stay in the defensive back room, and let's go to the corners this time. And let's talk about Amani Oruwariye, the free agent acquisition for the Giants. Spent the last couple of years with the Detroit Lions, and he has not had a great training camp. And if the Giants do move on from him, they save just over $1 million. Kind of got roasted in the joint practices against his former team in the Detroit Lions. He's had some really high highs in the NFL. Had some years with a lot of interceptions, but he's always been someone that's been beat deep. And he's someone that's very handsy, and he draws a lot of flags on that side of the field. And with the Giants having a good number of outside corners that they like Adoree Jackson, Deonte Banks, the rookie Trey Hawkins, I'm not sure that Amani Oruwariye will make this roster, especially if Aaron Robinson is able to get off the pup and be ready to go week 1. I think it'll come down to Rodarius Williams versus Amani Oruwariye to see which corner makes this roster as they round out the 53. We'll get to more surprise cut candidates in just a quick second. But first, I need you to get hooked up with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet. And when you use this promo code, chat125, they are going to match your initial deposit of up to 125%. So if you put $100 into your account at chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code chat125, you're going to have $225 to bet with. You can bet on the preseason. The season is right around the corner. There's a lot of times for you to win money. So take advantage of it. Chat to BetUS, chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. Let's talk about the backfield and the running backs. I think the Giants are only going to keep 3 running backs. And the guy that I would say outside of those 3 that it's most likely to be cut is James Robinson. He just did not impress me in that first preseason game. And we've heard throughout camp that he just has not really had that pop and that burst and that speed that he once possessed for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw why the New England Patriots signed him earlier this offseason, then released him just a month later. The injuries have caught up to him, and they have started to take some of his powers away from really the former rookie standout running back a couple of years ago. You look at this position group for Big Blue, you know Saquon Barkley is going to be the RB1. They really like Matt Breida. They brought him back this offseason. He had some really pop plays for the Giants last year. They selected Eric Gray in the 5th round out of Oklahoma. Wasn't too impressed with him either in that first preseason game. We saw the short area quickness, and we saw the ability to run through arm tackles, and I liked what he did in the kicking game as the punt returner and kick returner. But the lack of speed really popped off the screen for me. We knew that that was an issue going into the draft, and once the Giants drafted him, we said time and time again he didn't have that straight, long speed, and that kind of showed up on tape against the Lions. But I still believe that there is an NFL player in that body. And honestly, if the Giants keep 4 running backs, I would rather them hold on to Jashaun Corbin, the UDFA out of the 2022 draft from Florida State, over Robinson. Corbin, he's explosive. We saw him rip off that 30-yard run. And what I really liked about him was not afraid to step up and get in the way of somebody on those passing situations. Had some really good pass block plays for the Giants in preseason game number 1. I was impressed from him, not so much from James Robinson. A player that I did not want to put on this list, but I had to, as he crushed my hopes and dreams of us finding the next Victor Cruz, Bryce Ford-Wheaton. I just do not see a way that Mr. Ford-Wheaton makes this team after he had 2 drops on Friday, was flagged for an offensive pass interference, and really didn't show you anything. Giants would save about $500,000 if they do move on from him. But it's more so to do with the numbers the Giants have at the receiver position than Bryce Ford-Wheaton being a player that deserves to make this roster. Because Isaiah Hodgins is going to make the team. Darius Slayton is going to make the team. Paris Campbell is going to make the team. Jalen Hyatt is going to make the team. That's 4 guys right there. I believe Cole Beasley is a lock to make this team. Why else would the Giants bring some veteran receiver in midway through training camp, and at the very first practice, have him practicing with the number 1s? Why would they have someone taking reps away from young players on this team if he wasn't even going to make the team? And I thought he looked really good in the first preseason game. So that's 5 wide receivers, including Cole Beasley. And I didn't mention Wan'Dale Robinson, who it sounds like he's not going to start the season on the PUP list. So that's 6 wide receivers right there. And I think they're going to keep Sterling Shepard. And I like Jamison Crowder a lot more than Bryce Ford-Wheaton. So I think, unfortunately, for all of the Bryce Ford-Wheaton fans out there, his career is not going to get off the ground. But I could see a spot where he ends up on the Giants practice squad if he does not get, signed by another team in the NFL. I'll ask you, though. I'm typing my N for no. I want to hear from you. Is Bryce Ford-Wheaton going to make the Giants roster? Will he be one of the 6 or 7 receivers to do so? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm curious what all of Big Blue thinks. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for tuning in to Giants Now. If you want to talk more football, more Bryce Ford-Wheaton, more New York Giants, hit me up on Twitter right here, @MarshallGreen_. Yeah, I think Bryce Ford-Wheaton might be cooked.
Yeah, the hype train's over. It's sad, but
I'm ready to get right back on the hype train if he balls out in week 2, though.
Dude, we just got to see him just look like a receiver. Like,
anytime you run like a comeback or a curl route and you try to catch the football like this.
Dude, that's high school stuff. That's what I was doing in high school.
That's alarming.
Very alarming.
I also think that he paid off people at the combine because there is no way he ran a 4.340. He looked slow.
Yeah.
He did not look good. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. But hey, it's only week 1. He's got 2 more weeks to make a case for himself to make this team. We did get another super chat. Shout out to JV. Says, if we don't make the playoffs, did we fail?
Good question.
I would say no, because I do think there is a world where the Giants are a better football team. Their offense is better, their defense is better, and they have a worse record. Their schedule this year, and particularly their road schedule, and the defenses they face on the road are really tough. I'm going to pull up the New York Giants 2023 schedule real quick, and let's just take a look at this, all right? So week 1, you got the Dallas Cowboys. It's at home. Good defense, though. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals. Probably the biggest must-win and must-win games of all time. And then this is where it gets tough. You get the Niners on the road. Then you travel back to New Jersey and you play the Seahawks. And you got the Dolphins on the road. You got the Bills on the road. And you got the Cowboys on the road. There's a lot of teams that you play that have really good defenses, and I didn't even mention the Eagles. I could see a world where the Giants go 8-9 and are right in competition for that third wild card spot when Week 17 gets here. I think they're going to be a better football team. I expect them to have a better record, but I could see a world where, they don't have the same amount of wins as last year, but they're regarded as a better football team. I definitely think that's a strong possibility. Shoot, you win less than 6 games, yes, it is a failure. But let's say you go 8-9 and you don't make that third wild card spot. While we would all be upset, while we'd all be disappointed, I wouldn't necessarily call it a failure, and I wouldn't be calling for Brian Daboll's job whatsoever. JV, I appreciate the question, my man. Craig Clifford coming in with a $20 super chat. Craig, we appreciate you, my man. You're always tuning in during the shows. You're always showing love, and that means a lot to us here. So thank you. We appreciate you. Very, very generous, as always. Much appreciated here at the Chat Sports Studios. If you're not already, give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm trying to be able to follow more Giants fans. I want my Twitter feed to be full of New York Giants tweets. So I'm going to put my link to my Twitter in the comment section right now. Everybody that gives me a follow, I'm going to give you a follow back because let's talk more Big Blue. Because football season's pretty much here.
I got to call out Crim's dad.
Is Crim's dad being Crim's dad?
Crim's dad was saying I was talking smack on Tuto.
Yeah, what was that about?
Biggest compliments I could give to Tuto.
Dude, yeah, that was.
Saying he looks freaking young,
I think Crimmy was trying to get Tuto to beat you up a little bit.
I think he was. I don't know what Crim's dad beef with me is.
Yeah, it's.
Me and Crim's dad have like a little love-hate that might be just turning into more hate.
You're just matching his energy.
I'm just gonna match your energy, Crim's dad.
JoJo Haley sends me a DM and says, do you really think Bryce Ford-Wheaton gets cut and we keep David Sills? We are not keeping David Sills. I never said that, and I don't think that those two are really related. But I do believe that Sills and most likely Bryce Ford-Wheaton are going to get cut. I don't see a way David Sills make this team. I don't think I said that.
No,
I don't think I did. If I did, I misspoke, but I'm almost confident I did not say that.
There should be like something in like I don't know how like a class where it's like you show like the two different like archetypes of receivers like Bryce Ford-Wheaton and Cole Beasley. And you just throw on the tape from that first preseason game and it's like you don't need to be the biggest and fastest guy. It just comes down to having good hands and getting open and having good feet. And that's what he does.
Create
so well.
Space, catch the ball, and get north and south.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. The day and age of the Kenny Gallaudays, I think, are kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
No quarterback likes to throw into contested. Ask any quarterback. Would you rather throw to a 6'4" wide receiver that's covered, but you throw him a 50-50 ball, or would you rather throw to a 5'10" receiver that has created 5 yards separation?
Yeah.
So I just think that's a little bit done and over with. Aiden Moore, you gave me a follow on Twitter. I just gave you a follow back. Everyone that follows me on Twitter today, I'm going to give you a follow back. As Gilly comes in with a $5 super chat. Gilly, thank you very much. Says, JMS looked good. I blame the run blocking on trash guards. Yeah, I thought John Michael Schmitz looked good. The play I was most disappointed about, which I've changed my feelings a little bit after I watched the All-22, was that 4th and 1 in the first half where the Giants had Joshua Uzudu at the left guard, John Michael Schmitz at center, and Brent Bredesen at the right guard, and they weren't able to pick up the 4th and 1. They just ran it right up the middle. But on that play, I just didn't like the blocking scheme. They tried to, the right guard in the center, JMS and Ben Bredesen, tried to double team that nose tackle, which was on the right shoulder of John Michael Schmitz, and Schmitz just took care of him himself. And then Bredesen pretty much blocked nobody as the weak side backer came and made the play. I know you're trying to probably get your rookie center some help there, and the rules are always different for every offensive line coach. I just didn't like the scheme, the way that was executed. But I thought John Michael Schmitz looked good. My favorite play was, it was a passing play where he really stalled out the nose tackle that went up against him. And then when he saw that the nose tackle couldn't get to Daniel Jones, he let him go. Then he peeled off into the flat and then got in front of another edge rusher, so Tyrod Taylor get the throw off. Very impressed with the rookie center. I think we got one. I think we got a starting center.
On that 4th and 1 play, I think it was like 2 plays in a row, the Giants just ran halfback dive.
Yeah, they ran the same exact play twice in a row. I get it's the preseason. But
you're not opening up the playbook.
Yeah, you're not opening up the playbook. I would have liked something a little bit more diverse than that, but it is what it be. Giants were unable to get it done. My man, Dat Boy Joe, what up, Brody? He says, DeVito, QB2.
Great question.
So,
that should have been a statement.
When I started scripting out the cut candidates, surprise cut candidates, I almost put Tyrod Taylor in there.
Really?
But then I was like,
no way.
There's no way.
Because, like, God forbid, knock on wood, Daniel Jones is abducted by aliens or something. Like, you still, for one game, are probably going Tyrod. But
yeah. I mean,
once good, man.
I was impressed by DeVito, and we got a stock up, stock down segment coming up. Full teaser. Both quarterbacks are on it. You could probably guess which one or which. But, no, I don't think he's QB2, and I don't think that any team's going to poach him off your practice squad.
DeVito.
So save a roster spot. Let him be your emergency QB3 that suits up every week but doesn't count on the 47 active players or however many that you get to keep. And let him be there. But
he looked comfortable.
Can he be a backup QB, like, maybe next year?
Like, kind of be like maybe a little Taylor Heineke. I guess he had a little gamer in him. You know what I mean? Like,
he did have a little gamer in him. I'm a fan of DeVito. I was trashing him before this. I was impressed by the kid.
I watched him last year in Illinois a couple games. He did not look like that. Like,
if it wasn't for Corey Cunningham and Wyatt Davis. Wyatt Davis and Corey Cunningham ruined my Friday night.
Is Wyatt Davis the worst offensive lineman in the NFL? Like, you can really make an argument.
If he's not the worst, he's the second worst.
He's terrible.
I am also, next game day, I usually wear the Brian Daboll zip up. I'm going to wear the Kayvon Thibodeau jersey, number 5. Okay. And I think we put the tape on the back and write DeVito on there.
Yes.
Because they're both wearing number 5.
Oh, wearing the DeVito jersey.
The DeVito jersey on Friday is going to hit different. That's going to hit different. Dat Boy Joe, I would say no to DeVito being QB2 this year. Next year, maybe the year after.
Yeah.
Never say never. Never say never, that's for sure.
He looked good. Like, he looked better. He exceeded expectations.
Yeah. I like this. He looked like a gamer out there. He broke the pocket a couple of times, flashed the wheels, a little sidearm sling. I was impressed. I was impressed by young DeVito. He had an opportunity, Seeps, to show why he could be a QB3 or why he should not be in the NFL, and he was able to get it done.
Dude, he looked good. Like, he looked good.
We'll see if he can replicate that Friday against the Carolina Panthers.
Give him the start of this Friday night, Daboll. Come on.
It sounds like Daniel Jones maybe getting some time this Friday.
Sneak peek, actually.
A little sneak peek. Let's get into that. Let's get into our preseason Week 2 preview against the Carolina Panthers, as we did give away 2 tickets to this game during our watch party, if that's not enough incentive for you to tune in this week, because we're giving away more tickets to Giants-Jets. Be there or be square. Be square, L7. Be an L7. All righty, let's get into it. Preseason, week 2. The New York Giants will be hosting the Carolina Panthers in their preseason week 2 matchup this Friday at East Rutherford. And we are going to be live on the channel doing our watch party, and I want you to be there, so subscribe and turn your notifications on. But before we get into the preview and is Daniel Jones going to play, Brian Daboll had some pretty interesting words about that. I want to get your words about this. Who do you got? Who's going to win the football game? Is it the Giants? Is it the Panthers? Type NYG for the Giants or CAR for the Carolina Panthers. Let's start it off with what Brian Daboll had to say when he was asked by a reporter. The reporter pretty much asked him, has it gotten to a point in Daniel Jones' career where you've known him enough where he doesn't need to play in the preseason? And he pretty much said no, and he hinted that Daniel Jones will play. This was the quote. He said, we'll talk about that at the end of the week. Again, these decisions really are made toward the end of the week, like I've told you guys. There's a lot of research and communication that goes into it, but I'd anticipate Daniel Jones playing. And this is good news, if you ask me, because I feel like the quarterback position is a little bit different than every other position on the football field. It's one of those jobs where you need to go out and see some live action. You need to see the bullets flying around before you line up under center week 1 Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, because playing quarterback in training camp when you got the red non-contact jersey on is much, much different than playing in a real game where every single defensive lineman is trying to crack you in half. I'd like to see the starters play. And it sounds like Daniel Jones and some other guys will, at least according to Daboll, who said, we sit down, we discuss it with the appropriate people that I talked to you guys about, and make the decisions that we thought was best. I'd say there is some good competitive situations right now going on our team, and some young guys that we want to take a look at. Now, what do we do next week? That will be determined throughout this week. We will see what we are at with all those numbers and sit down at the end of the week and make a decision that we feel is best. So to me, it sounds like they're definitely weighing the idea of starters playing. And if you turn the clock back to the preseason in 2022, most of the starters did play. Daniel Jones played in 2 games, and we saw some other starters play. I don't remember Saquon Barkley being out there. He did not play to my memory, but we saw Daniel Jones play a quarter in that first preseason game. We saw Kayvon Thibodeau play against the Cincinnati Bengals. I remember that because he hurt his MCL. There are some guys that I do not want to see suit up, and some guys that I want to remain in bubble wrap. But I'll ask you this question. Do you want the starters to play in the preseason? It's always a tricky question because you need to be ready to go week 1 against the Cowboys. And the only way to get game ready is play games, and that's what you got. You got 2 more of them in the preseason. But you got to balance the idea of getting ready versus the risk of getting hurt. So you be the GM. You be the coach. Do you want the starters to play in the preseason? Type P for play, type R for rest. Let me know what you think. I do want to see Daniel Jones play, and I do want to see some of the starters play. But there's 4 guys that I don't need to see on a football field till Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. And that's Saquon Barkley. I don't need to see him in the preseason. I know who number 26 is, and I know what number 26 is about. Don't put him out there. Another guy that doesn't need to touch the football field until Sunday night is Darren Waller. He has not played in the preseason, I believe, dating back all the way to 2019. We know that he has an injury-prone status that is carried with him since coming over from the Raiders the last 2 seasons. There's no need to risk it. Let's have him ready to go week 1. Also, I don't need to see Andrew Thomas out there. I know if you put Daniel Jones out there, you probably want to protect him with his left tackle, but I would rather not see him out there. Another guy, Dexter Lawrence, big number 97, the $100 million man. I also don't think he is somebody that needs to be out there. A player that I do want to see more from, though, is Eric Gray, the 5th-round selection, the running back out of Oklahoma. He did lead the running backs in snaps during that game against the Lions, but he only had like 5 carries. I want to see more usage of Eric Gray. I want to know, sounded so good, if he can be a guy that the Giants can rely on. Can he be more than just a punt returner and a kick returner? Can I see him get a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carries and see if he's someone that can eat up yards in the National Football League? I also want to see more Jashaun Corbin. I don't need to see much of Matt Breida, and I would never be upset if I never saw James Robinson play for the New York Giants. Again, I do want to see a wide receiver emerge, though. I want to see all the wide receivers outside of Sterling Shepard probably suit up for the Giants coming up this week against the Carolina Panthers. Because when you talk about these receivers, it is such a competition. And you can only really judge the competition in these games. I know you can do it at joint practices and you can do it during the training camp sessions. But I want to see what my guys can do against their guys. And when you look at the snap counts, going back to Friday against the Lions, we saw a whole lot of Bryce Ford-Wheaton. It just didn't translate to the stat sheet. Khalil Pimpleton had the second most snaps. Then Jalen Hyatt. I want to see Hyatt get some reps and some run with the first and second team instead of having to run with the third team with Corey Cunningham and Wyatt Davis for protecting Tommy DeVito. That was brutal. Preseason legend David Sills. Sure, I'm okay with seeing some stuff from him. I'd like to see if Colin Johnson can bounce back after that knee injury. And I want to see more of Jamison Crowder and Cole Beasley. I want to see which one of those veteran slot receivers still has it. I believe they're both still good. I think they both can still be effective. I'd have to lean towards Cole Beasley as I was impressed with the way he got open and got north and south and tucked up the football. It's a competition, no doubt about it. The Giants were not going to enter another season with the opportunity to have the worst receiving core in the NFL. They're probably still a bottom 10 unit, but there's at least competent pro receivers on this team. You're not going to be seeing Marcus Johnson starting and playing 60 snaps in a football game anymore. Competition brings out the best in people, and I'm glad that we have that going on right now at this wide receiver position. We've got more info to get to in just a second, but you need to take advantage of the deal today by going to chatsports.com/bet and get hooked up with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code chat125, and they're going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. You can bet on the game this Friday. If you're an absolute degenerate like I am, bet on preseason football. It makes it a whole lot more fun. The Giants are 3-point favorites in that one. Lay some lettuce on the line and get rich with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. Let's close out this Week 2 preview against the Carolina Panthers with some injury updates. We are recording this video on Monday, so maybe some things have changed, but this is everything we know as of Monday at 5:51 Eastern Time about the injury report. Evan Neal is still working back from that concussion he sustained, not this past Friday, but the Friday before that in training camp. But he was back at practice on Monday in a non-contact fashion. Had that red non-contact practice jersey on, but it's good to see the big fella back on the field, at least getting some work in that conditioning right, and hopefully he'll be ready to go Week 1. I expect him to be ready versus the Dallas Cowboys. Let's also talk about the slot corner, Cordale Flott, who left the preseason game with that abdomen injury. He was also back on the practice field on Monday, which is good news. The slot corner position is still one that I believe is up for grabs, and the best man will win that competition, and it's between Cordale Flott, Darnay Holmes, and potentially even Adoree Jackson. We do have more injury news as DJ Davidson has been elevated off the PUP list, the 5th-round selection in the 2022 NFL Draft, the interior defensive lineman out of Arizona State. He is back practicing off the PUP list, and he's going to be ready to go potentially this Friday. Other guys that were not at practice on August 14th on Monday, Devery Hamilton was not there, Tyree Phillips, Colin Johnson, Gary Brightwell, Nick McLeod, Cam Brown, Ryder Anderson, and Rakeem Nunez-Roches was at least there in a limited fashion. So those are guys, I don't know if I expect any of these guys on screen to play Friday, but if you're Devery Hamilton or Tyree Phillips or Ryder Anderson or Cam Brown, you may need to tough it out and try to go win a job on this 53 as there's only so many opportunities left. If any more injury news or updates heading into Friday's game happens, the first place you can find out about it is over on my Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. So give me a follow over there and stay in the loop on everything Big Blue. Good catch on that.
I was like, damn, are we really this close?
I know. I looked at that. I was like, that ain't right. That means I messed up in the video before. All good. Seeps, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you like to see the starters play in the preseason?
I feel like every situation's different, obviously.
Yeah.
Like if you're under the same, like Mahomes and Andy Reid, like if I'm in their situation, I don't think they should play. But even Reid gets those guys out there. I like what you said about the quarterbacks though, because like there's probably no difference like bigger in any sports from like being in practice as a quarterback to live action.
Yeah.
Like you cannot replicate that whatsoever. So I've always leaned play because it's also like, oh, what about injuries and everything? Well, if your starters are playing 8 snaps and they get hurt on one of those,
Probably meant to be.
Just chalk it up to bad luck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, McVay kind of changed my tune on that as well when they didn't play anybody in the preseason and the Rams won the Super Bowl that year. But I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. I kind of don't think it really matters either way.
Yeah. Like I would like to see Daniel Jones out there. But if he goes out there and gets hurt, I'm going to be ripping Brian Daboll.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, why the hell was he out there? It's preseason.
Exactly. 2 sides to every coin.
But then again, if like week 1 against the Cowboys, the Giants come out super slow, you're like, oh, maybe they should have got reps in preseason. Like you could say it either way. See, that also is different. Like Giants week 1, that's Sunday night against your rival.
Yeah.
Like maybe in that situation, like I'd probably lean to playing the starters probably a little more.
Yeah, you want to be ready to go. I mean, that's a game you can win, especially with a healthy Darren Waller and no injuries. You got to take advantage of that. I want Daniel Jones to play because there's a difference, and a huge difference when in training camp in 11-on-11s, it's 3rd and 7, and you got to pick up a first, and you drop back and hit your back foot, and you're like, these mother effers can't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit there, I'm going to make all my reads, and I'm going to fire, compared to potentially in week 2, you drop back, it's 3rd and 7, and you got Brian Burns coming at you. So,
or Micah Parsons week 1
yeah.
down his neck. Like
it's a scary line. If it works out, if nobody gets hurt, it's a success. If they do, your coach is definitely going to get a little bit backfire. I would say play, but there's some guys I would hold. I don't need to see Saquon. I don't need to see Dexter Lawrence. I mean, I don't need to see Andrew Thomas, but it's almost like if I'm putting my quarterback out there, I want him out there.
True. Yeah.
So it's a tricky situation. I like what Brian says. If the first team O-line is not out there, don't put DJ out there. I agree with that.
That's a good point.
I agree with that for sure.
It should be like a camaraderie. Like, hey, our first team unit, we're going to go down, get 7, and y'all are out.
Yeah,
like,
let's go score and let's sit.
Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Like, that should be it.
I like that. I would not be shocked if Daniel Jones plays this Friday. I almost am expecting him to at this point after Brian Daboll's comments. We got one more segment to get to. Whose stock is up and whose stock is hitting the shitter following that first preseason game. But before we get into that, make sure all of you are following me over on Twitter. I want to follow more Giants fans over on Twitter, or I guess you can't really call it that anymore. It's X now.
Yeah,
I'm calling it Twitter until forever. It's always going to be Twitter. And it's always going to be a retweet. It's never going to be a repost.
No.
It's never going to be a repost.
Shout out Elon.
Shout out Elon, who was shadow banning you, dude.
Yeah, Elon did shadow ban my Twitter, guys.
That's crazy. Give me a follow, though, at @MarshallGreen_. Everybody that follows me from today's live video, I'm going to give you a follow back and a shout out. Harry Balzic says QB sneak on 3rd and 9. That's crazy.
I love Cougar's response, though.
Who is that in the picture?
Tristan Jackson.
The same guy?
Same guy. He's
I need. Look, that was creative, but you can't be a one-hit wonder.
I was gonna say Johnson. You got to switch it up.
Johnson, you got to be better about this.
Go get you like a Kane Wongwu or something.
Yeah, get us someone. If you need to get someone who's on the Vikings right now that Seeps can't recognize.
Yeah. Try to trick me. But
That's good
football's
stuff.
harder to recognize faces, so it might be a little easier.
It is.
You're
Gilly,
exposed.
who is Gilly chirping at in the chat?
Who's you?
Yeah, who's you? There's a couple of people that Gilly is giving the business to in the chat, and I don't know what's going on.
See, Nope already pushing a fake narrative that Marsh brainwashed his fans into believing, but it's all right.
And which one? On what?
Adoree locked up JJ.
Oh, he did. Adoree Jackson locked up Justin Jefferson.
Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney, Julian Love. Yeah, they all locked him up.
That's good stuff. Jalen H, my man, just gave you a follow back on Twitter. Appreciate you showing some love. Did you see that video of destroying on YouTube when Justin Jefferson showed up to those one-on-ones?
No, I didn't.
You haven't seen that?
No.
It's pretty good. He do you know who destroying is?
Yeah.
He does these one-on-ones for money all the time on YouTube, and Justin Jefferson showed up, and he was wearing like a disguise.
Oh my God.
He cooked a couple people. Not gonna lie, he kind of got strapped by this one guy.
Jefferson.
Yeah, it was a one-on-one from like the 10-yard line, so not a lot of room for
yeah.
you to win, but he was kind of getting held too.
Was he still like under his?
Yeah,
face
under
when
his.
he locked him up?
Yeah. And then when like he caught this one-handed pass, he took off his mask. It was pretty cool. You should check it out.
Check it out. Yeah.
Gilly says, all I do is chirp. Have you seen my Twitter replies? I have. I still don't know who you is. Or is that Johnson you? You exposed. My man Rob Jigga is in the chat. We sent Rob to training camp practice 2 Fridays ago. Hope you had a good time, Rob. I didn't get any pictures from you. That was my lone single ask, so F me, I guess. Rob says, I missed most of the live stream today, and now dogs and cats living together. Vast hysteria. I don't know what y'all are talking about in the chat. That's one thing about Giants Now.
The chat, it will go anywhere.
It's like, yeah, the stream is on, and they are just talking to themselves.
They're in their own little world.
We're just background music to them. We're just background music.
Are we just creating like a hangout room for them? Like they don't.
This is their discourse
care.
or whatever. Yeah. Is this their Discord or whatever?
They don't care about what we're talking about at all.
Rob says, are you sure you didn't receive any pics? I'm going to be honest. I'm terrible about checking my email. I just assumed you didn't send any, but I'll go check my email right now, Rob. Giant says I went to training camp. Yeah, you held like 14 practices.
And Cougar, you're amazing.
Cougar Faz.
Cougar Faz.
Showing some love to Patrick Seaman on there.
Shout out to Cougar.
Tell who? Rob? Yeah, he hasn't texted me back. Well, that was Nick's. That was more so Nick's.
Oh.
Well, that's same, but different. All right. Mitchell Renz, host of the Las Vegas Raiders Report. Actually, I want you to come on and do it.
Yeah.
Give you the floor. Mitchell Renz.
Bottom line, Giants fans can't hang with Raider fans. That's the majority of the story here. I'll just keep it Cliff Notes because I got to go do another live show. But if you want to prove me otherwise, I got a boot. It's filled up. Prove me wrong.
Do we got a price on that? $100. If someone sends in a $100 super chat, I'm going to boot race Mitchell Renz. I'm going to boot race. The backstory is, how do I want to set this up? The owner of the largest super chat of all time was Rob Rod, who, as some people call him, Robbie Riches, on the channel. He sent in a $3,600 PayPal on top of a $1,600 Venmo, so $5,200. And then that was the record for quite some time, about a month or two.
Yeah.
And then Raider Ron sent in a $5,700 flat and 50. Can't forget that 50 Venmo. So no longer does the biggest super chat of all time reside in New York. It does not.
It's also
50 and 1 cent.
So Marsh, I think Tom Downey. I think Mr. Tom Downey. I think he's lurking in the chat right now.
He is. He says, Marshy, are the Raiders reports still obsessed with you? Yeah, they're both in my studio right now telling me to tell the crew. Look, I'm kind of like...
Nobody lives in their head.
Oh, my gosh. I have so much freaking real estate in Las Vegas.
Jeremy thinks about you all the time.
I don't know why he's in here. That's
Putting a
freaking
bag
good.
over it.
That's freaking good. Yeah, someone sends in a $100 super chat. I'm gonna beer boot race Mitchell Renz. That's good stuff. Crim's dad says register my cars next month or send it to Mars, 6K. Crim's,
That's a good point.
I'll tell you this much. Having cars is cool, but imagine owning the record for the largest super chat in chat sports history. You could
True.
choose your destiny. I mean, we walk to work here. Cars aren't even needed. Cars aren't even needed.
Do you want to say something to Tom? Do you want to say something to Tom if he's listening?
Is Tom
right now?
Downey in the chat? I saw
We
there
all
he is.
miss Tom.
Jeremy thinks way more about other team than his own. Well, his own 5.
Do you have any comment to that?
Yeah, I mean, Tom, you were so scared of me, you had to move halfway across the country, buddy. I'm so in your head. You had to leave the state because you couldn't handle the heat. You proverbially had to get out of the kitchen. So, Thomas, I know you're hyped up with your top 15 quarterback, Cooper Rush, even though he's your backup. But, you know, the rest of the Cowboys roster is looking good. You just need to have Cooper Rush on the field.
Love that.
Boom.
Love that. I will say my preseason week 1 overreaction, Giants should have drafted Deuce Vaughn over Eric Gray.
Yeah.
That's my overreaction
I like
right now.
that.
Giants should have drafted Deuce Vaughn
The little
over
fella.
Eric Gray.
The small running back, Tom.
That's crazy. Cougar says, did you guys hear that DJ declined to be on Netflix quarterback? Yes, he did. Daniel Jones will not be on the new season of Netflix's quarterback show.
Disappointing.
Disappointing for us, but not shocked. He's all about business.
See, but I don't like when quarterbacks are saying that now because it's like Mahomes just won a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. Kirk just won
that's
13
fair.
games.
Well, I mean, who did Kirk lose to? Maybe if he was more focused in the playoffs.
Listen, dude. Kirk was so locked in. Kirk's locked in.
He was locked in as hell on T.J. Hawkinson on 4th and 15.
That's funny, man.
As Master Botter comes in with a $2 super chat, says DJ is the best Huggo boss skills.
What?
So Daniel Jones went undercover and was selling Boss Gear, which is a new sports brand, and they make Giants gear. I don't know what the Hugo is. That's a great name, though.
That is a good name.
That's a good name. You get some style points back for that. But you're the pro, like, dude, everyone knows who that is.
Come on.
You're so much better than this.
You're better than
You're
this,
just
Jay.
better than this. You're leaving a lot to be desired. You're leaving. Yeah, I like what Crim's dad says. That's not even a name, you. Gilly says you still exposed.
You still. God, is
Johnson, is he losing his juice?
I think he might
Is
be losing
Johnson
his swag a little
washed?
bit.
Is Johnson you washed? I think he might be.
I respected the name on this one. I'll give the name on this. I'll go 7.2 out of 10. Profile pick, though, I'm probably going like 3.1.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.9 for the name and then like a 1 for the picture.
Yeah, the picture's just not it,
Johnson, you
It's
might be
Kirk.
washed. I think Crim's dad is the #1 alias now in the
True.
chat.
Crimmy or Johnson, I don't know. Crimson might have the edge right now.
Okay, so is it Hugo Boss or Huggo Boss or Hugo?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Boss is what it is. Hugo?
Hugo?
That makes no sense. Why? Why is that a thing? It's still fucking stupid. I can't hear.
They're being mean, the Martian, I know.
It's all right. Hey. Grim says he graduated from Johnson U.
Oh, so it's a little Yoda,
Okay.
Luke Skywalker type
So
of thing.
he's taken over.
Yeah.
Taken over.
Hugo's his name.
I still don't understand why it's called Hugo Boss.
I have no idea.
Why not just Boss? See, if it was my company, I'd have Kevin Boss as the face of that company.
Oh, it's pronounced Hugo. so everybody out there can be quiet.
Is it?
That's what U-Dog69 says. U-Dog. Who go?
I think y'all are saying it wrong. Fuckers. Jeremy, get your finger out of your butt. All right, let's get into it. Let's close this last segment. Gilly says, yo, Marsh, we need a single super chat or just need to add up to 500. Well, Mitchell Renz said we need a singular $100 super chat. We're at $38 in super chats. If we get to 100,
We can race.
me and Seeps will do a beer shotgun race, but to get a boot race between myself and President Renz, he set the table as a $100 super chat.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. We are 62 away from a beer shotgun race, but 100 we'll do a beer boot race. So that's the deal. Those are the deal of the day. That's what we're going to rock with. Let's close out the show, though.
See, I feel like we should have like.
As Jeremy Chugs is saying that he's thirsty and he wants to poke the bear, he said these loser Giants fans won't super chat. So every $5, he said he'll do a shot.
Wow.
Every $5, Chug said he'll do a shot.
Wow.
So if someone were to technically send in a $100 super chat right now, that'd be 20 shots for Chugs and a beer boot race.
And he's going home.
And he's going home, not driving.
And also, shout out to Bill. Bill who?
Shout out to Bill.
Let's clap it up to Bill.
Bill, you never have to do anything, brother. You are more than good. You're square. We love it. We luck it. We love it.
See, I feel like for this next segment, we should have like some music like stock up, stock down, coming in.
Love that. As
Oh!
Gilly comes in with a $20 super chat. That's 4 shots for Chugs.
Uh-oh.
Oh! As Gilly comes in with a $20 super chat. Says 5 shots. We'll round up. It's $5. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm not good at math, but I know that. I do know this, though. As Queenie, bang! Queenie comes in with a $100 super chat.
That's 25 shots. for
That's
Jeremy.
25 shots.
That's 25 shots.
No, you literally said every $5 I'll do a shot.
know, but
25.
You said 100. Y'all are doing a race.
Yeah, so we're and the 20 shots for you.
It's both.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how we put it up there.
We're counting everyone.
Everybody, let's bow down to Queenie. Bow down to Queenie, the queen of New York Giants now by Chat Sports. Doesn't say much in the comments, but we'll just drop the occasional $100 super chat. Jeremy, I'm nervous for you. I don't want you to take 25 shots. That's just not possible.
All right. I'll do everything besides Queenie because y'all are doing a boot race. What did you get
Yeah.
besides Queenie?
A 20 and then a 5.
I'll do 5.
You'll do 5?
I did 3.
Yeah.
You'll do 3? All right, we'll do 3. We'll cut him some slack. How about this, though? Well,
4.
where's Renz?
Yeah, did he just go live on locals?
Yeah. He's on.
What time does Renz get off locals? Is there any way you could prepare his boot? You swap in and out with him. Or how long does he usually go for? Well, I'm sure you know about that, but on locals.
I think the kids would say that's sus.
Oh, holy Toledo. That was crazy. That was crazy. Shout out to Queenie.
Let's go.
Everybody drop those cues in the comment section.
The queen.
Show the queen of New York Giants now by Chat Sports some love. Drop those cues. Shout out to Queenie. Queenie's a goat.
Dude, you just forget about it.
Like-
No offense.
Yeah, it's like, I never know if she's watching.
Yeah.
I never know.
Come
And then
on
all of a
over.
sudden, bang, $100 super chat.
Boom.
She's here. She's there. Shout out to Queenie, a legend at New York Giants now by Chat Sports. Holy Toledo. Let's freaking ride.
Should we knock the cutout before the race? Or do you want to do the race first?
Let's do the quick cut, and then after stock up, stock down, we're going to do the beer boot. Well, there's Renz right there.
Oh,
He
nice.
looks motivated right now.
Right now?
As Sean Clowney is in the
ready.
building.
He's ready.
Shout out to Sean Clowney, my man, is a real one. What's going on? You know, we're just going to do it now. We're going to get it on.
We're going to get it on.
We're going to get it on. Shout out to freaking Queenie. Yeah. Shout out to Queenie. Keep dropping those cues in the comment section. Show the queen of New York Giants now some love. Let's ride. Queenie. Queenie. If you type your cues, I'm giving you a shout out. Shout out to Bryce, Brian, Rob Jigga. What up, Rob? Cougar, Sean Clowney, Brandon, Ace. Queenie says thank you. Thank you, Queenie. Thank you very much. Corey in the chat. Mass says Q Enton Grimes. Love that. Scooby Snacks. Gilly typing a Q. Marty's typing a Q. Nope says Q and G. Tony typing a Q. Shout out to Queenie. Brian, QQQ. Crimsdad says, Sean, guess what the new record is for one super chat now? Yep, there's a new record for the largest super chat of all time. Robbie Riches, Rob Rodriguez, has been dethroned by the Raiders Report, by Mitchell Renz, and the Raiders Report. What was the number? $5,750 via Venmo. You say via Venmo kind of fast. Via Venmo. They want me to try to beat you. Yes, Jeremy. I did ask Jeremy how long do you usually go. That did not go over well. But here we are. All righty, Seeps.
Who do you guys got?
I got my Happy Dad. What do you got? A little lager there? Yeah, we got some old beers we gotta get rid of. Old beers. Let's do it. All righty.
Let's go.
Shout out to Chat Sports. Shout out to Ren.
What you got? Type G for Giants. Type R for
Type
Raiders.
M for Marsh. Type M for Marsh. Let me know who you got. Here we
Let's go. Sean in the chat saying Godspeed, boys. Here we go. Joe Kwan saying keep winning. Love y'all work. Shout out to you. Mitchell Renz. Marshall Green. This is a lot closer than many would have thought. Marshall's going for it. This might come down to it. Marsh has the lead. Marsh. Photo finish. Put his body on the line for the nation. He's going to be in some pain after that one.
I could throw up everywhere right now.
Another 100 for another race.
I might throw up.
That was a gritty performance out of Marsh. Marsh put his body on the line for you guys. The body was put on the line. Marsh, good stuff, man.
Dude, I don't know if I can do another.
You went for it there.
I think that was my fastest time of all time.
Dude, that was solid.
Dude, my stomach is in shambles. Bryce says F the Raiders, but thanks for Waller. Yeah, thanks for Waller, man. Enjoy pick number 100. What a dumb trade. Oh, my
Flips up around
God.
their players more than Raiders fans. We love Derek Carr. We love Darren Waller.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Raiders fans are like the boyfriend or girlfriend that they dated their significant other for a really long time, but the moment they break up, they start shit talking. I'm like, he sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got a little meat.
Then why were you with him?
Yeah,
for
why were you
5
with
years?
him?
Yeah.
Why are you with him? I got a little wet spot. That's not good. Yeah, my stomach feels like it's being squeezed right now. It's ridiculous. Queenie, you're a legend. Shout out to you. Let's freaking go.
Let's go.
Holy shit, that hurt.
Great question from there from Gil.
As Gilly comes in with a $5 super chat, shout out to Gilly. Says, Have you seen how hard Raiders fans cope over the Waller trade? Yeah, I work with two of them, and they try to act like they're glad he got traded when literally before last season, I got the hiccups now too, brutal. Like, it was, we love Waller. He's better than Travis Kelce. He's the best tight end in the league. We just gave him an extension. Hell yeah, way to go, Dave Ziegler. Now it's like, he sucked. He never wanted to be a Raider.
Yeah, always hurt.
Oh, Lord. Queenie says, Marsh, are you going to any Giants games? I'm going to Giants-Eagles on Christmas.
Ooh.
I am jealous. Enjoy yourself. Can the Giants... We did get one more 5 from Gilly. Jeremy Chug says, every $5 super chat the rest of the show, he's going to take a shot. I do not plan to go any games this year, Queenie, because we do live shows during games on the channel. So that's just kind of what we do. I'd love to go to a game, but we're live on the channels on Sundays doing our watch parties. So at this moment, no games this year. We'll be live every single game on the channel, hanging out with the real ones. Is that why you subscribe? That's why. All right, man. Congrats on the fireball, man. Every $5, Jeremy Chug's going to come take a fireball shot. Oh! A $6,000!
Vegas!
Lumbagus!
Who did we bait that one time to come in the studio?
Queenie says, I'll be in section 114 if anyone's going. I heard all the real ones are in section 114.
Drinks on Queenie. Drinks on Queenie.
No, if you see Queenie, you buy her a damn drink. Queenie, if you ever come to a Dallas game, Giants Cowboys in Dallas,
Look,
drinks on me.
Bulldozer, you obviously don't listen whenever, like before the games, they're like, the NFL rules and regulations permit any unused done of this game.
Unauthorized use of this game for personal uses.
On the Giants now. Not you.
Hilarious. Lumbagus comes in with a $5 super chat. What up, Lumby? He says, super excited for Daniel Jones. Big breakout year. I'm going to week 1 against Dallas, and nothing would be better than a Giants dub, and Danny pops off.
Hell yeah.
I think there's one thing that Jeremy Chuggs and myself can agree on. F Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
F Dallas.
F Dallas.
F Dallas. And I am the better looking twin of the two.
I have a little bit of a peak now.
You do. You are.
Getting there.
It's not the only little thing you got, but you got a little peak too. Get it? I'm slapping my knee.
That was good.
Hit the F Dallas in the chat. Overtake Blake says, love the channel. Blake, we love you, my man. We love you. Sean Clowney says, have fun. Everybody, is anyone going to a game this year? Is anyone going to a game this year besides Queenie?
Oh!
$6,000
Super chat from Matt Sturbater.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
All right, 6,000 from Mass. Johnson, I think you're showing tendencies of being washed right now.
I think he is showing some washed tendencies.
This is Johnson. He used to be funny, original, creative. Dude, you.
York Oxmall. That was right there for you. You said a tiny weenie joke. It was right there for you.
Oh my God, you guys are funny.
I think this is our formal call out of Johnson.
Yeah,
We're calling him out.
We've talked about it for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
I know it's the off season for the Knicks, but it doesn't need to be the off season for your funny jokes.
Give us your best fake name in the comments. Seymour Butts, IP Freely, Ben Dover.
Queenie says, I usually go to the Giants-Dallas games, but we always lose when I go, so I'm not going this year. We should win now. Hey, I'm a big superstitious guy. I guess you could say I'm superstitious. The boot's hitting.
Oh.
You get it? Do you get it? I'm superstitious. Oh my God. As we did get a $5 super chat from Gilly, says, F the clown boys, F the pigeons, F the redacted skins. Take a shot.
You washed.
You washed.
Damn, you.
Johnson Hughes getting kind of crushed right now in the chat.
Jeez.
Whoa.
What is going on right here? Johnson, you, dude. Johnson, if you want me to lower my expectations for you, I will.
These are for Corey.
These are for Corey. As Corey Wellens comes in with a $10 super chat, says, F the clown boys, Hyatt stats. Why do you keep doing that?
You can see.
Oh. F the clown boys, Hyatt stats week 1, 3 receptions, 75 yards. I don't know if you forgot to include 1 touchdown, but that's what we're going with. 3 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown for Jalen Hyatt.
And he's not even the wide receiver 1.
And then he's going to tell Dak Prescott to SYBAU.
Oh, got him!
We're definitely going to have a spam SYBAU in the chat when we play the Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
SYBAU, Dak. SYBAU. And then Trey Miles. Yeah! Money Making Marsh. You know we in the building. November 12th. Shirts in hand for the fellas. Hashtag True York TM. Statue of Liberty. I can't wait for my True York shirt.
Dude, I know.
My True York shirt is going to be fire.
This is going to be sick.
It's going to be fire.
I might wear it every day, Trey.
Hey, every $5 super chat, Jeremy Chugs is taking a shot.
Those 2 are for Trey.
Can we get a yurt?
Yeah.
Can we get it the Aki way? Oh, my God. Trey Miles, salute, brother. And then Sean Lacoste, a hard hat wearer and a hard hat winner. My man, he says, per living in Texas, the Cowboys fans are ridiculous down here. The amount of hate they have for Giants as well as every year they say, it's their year. Yeah, it's been the Cowboys' year since 96 or 90. Oh, Lord.
What are you even saying?
I like you, but you're crazy, man.
Crazy, man.
You're crazy.
Sean LaCouche.
Sean Lacoste. Shout out to him. Did you take your shot for him?
I did.
You did.
Sean LaCash money.
Lacash money. Shout out to Sean, Trey, Corey, Gilly, Mass, Lumbagus, Gilly, Queenie, Gilly, Mass, Dat Boy Joe, Gilly, Craig, JV, and Tuto. Shout out to everybody that has super chatted today. Been a lot of fun. We're up to $200 in super chats. Let's freaking ride. Are you still, are you going rest of the show every $5?
Are you not close to done?
We got one more segment.
Sir.
All right,
Yes,
every
sir.
$5. If we get to 300, we're at 200 right now. I'm gonna beer shotgun. Actually, if we get to 250, I'm gonna beer shotgun race. Patrick Seatman. If we get to 250, we're at 200 right now. Beer shotgun versus Seeps. If we get there. Hazelnut says Marshall Wonder sneaking B rips off camera. I wish.
No, he does.
Yeah, right over here. Let's go. All righty, stock up, stock down. Let's dive into it. Oh, as Anita comes in with a super chat. Chugs, can you read this one for us?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Next one coming in from Anita Dickinme. Anita Dickinme.
Are they related to Dikembe Mutombo?
Maybe. No. This one is for you, Chugs. This one is for you, Anita.
It's weird they have a C
Yeah, I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, that doesn't add up. What?
I need a C.
Were you?
Dikembe.
Were you? Did you used to be Christina Dickinme?
We got one more.
Sean Lacoste!
Sean Lacoste! He says, make it 4 more.
Jeremy's
You're not going to
kidding.
be able to get home
Yeah,
tonight.
what?
This kid is going to be smashed.
Get sauced.
Hey, he said it every 5. He's an Eagles fan. And Eagles, Raiders, Texans, and I think Dolphins and Steelers as well.
Yeah.
And he did Cowboys shows here, so.
There's one team I don't like.
Eric Cruz! Back!
Eric, are you trying to take advantage of me? Eric, are you trying to take advantage of me right now?
Make it 10 more. Let's go. If Chugs doesn't like every NFL team, but if the mascot ends in S, it's one of his favorite teams.
Besides the Browns, FPD's in the chat. FPD's in the chat. FPD. FPD. FPD.
Oh!
This man has 30 shots.
30 shots, count 'em.
Does anybody want to help?
30 shots. Eric Cruz says make it 10 more. Let's go. Eric Cruz. My man has been an MVP as of late. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
And then Sean Lacoste.
Lacash!
Lacash. A $20 super chat.
Are you going to pay Lacard or Lacash?
That was a good one. Oh, did you take your Z-Biotics? Is Z-Biotics still a sponsor? Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I did.
We did. We took our Z-Biotics. Nope says yeah. My man, that's funny. Nope says yeah. Oh, dude, how many? I can't let you do much more. Mackie Makoji.
Calling him out.
Calling you out.
Calling him
dude.
out.
Says you're pouring 2 sips in there.
All right,
He
Mr.
ain't even shot.
Mr. Magoo. I don't know who you are or where you're at, but suck it.
Oh my gosh. The only time we need mercy. Scooby snacks. If your favorite Scooby snack wasn't the blue little Scooby dog, then you're a cop.
I think I owe 8 more. Will you maybe do some?
No. Yes, I will not.
Okay.
I owe a beer shotgun race versus Seeps. Yep, y'all going to sleep. Is Z-Biotics... Corey, that's an insider. Haha, get it? Ryan Blazer says y'all going to be drunk.
Chase is going to do a beer shotgun for me.
Chase Sr., this is a beer bong.
That's what I just said. A beer bong.
Nope says, I'm sorry, you can't take no more unless you ain't human. Got a heartbeat? Is Chase Sr. taking the bong to town?
Oh, yeah!
Ah!
Yeah! With the arms wide open.
Shout out to Chase Sr. Shout out to Jeremy Chugs. Give him a round of applause. We don't call him Chugs for nothing. Shout out to Jeremy Chugs.
I heard you beat Mitch.
I did beat Mitch. I did.
You have a Snickers in your pocket?
That's out of pocket. Literally. All righty. We're going to do this beer shot fun race myself versus Patrick Seatman. Deal's still on the table. He hasn't taken it off. Until that bottle goes dry. It's over? It's over, he says. We're at $295 in super chats. If we get to $350, we'll do another. We'll run it back and we'll do another. All righty, let's do a beer shot fun race. Oh, old utensils here. Let's ride. All righty, 3, 2, 1. Mine, mine tasted like Dove soap a little bit. There's a little bit of soap in there. A little Dove, a little Climate in there. That tasted a little soapy. Not gonna lie to you. A little blue soap. Blue soap was the flavor I got there. Brutal. Ugh. Dawn. Dove. No, isn't Dove? No? I don't know. I don't remember. Dove soap. That's a thing. Dove. No? Fuck, I don't know. The one with the little bird on there. That's Dawn. I don't know. I don't freaking remember.
We are going to talk some football.
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
talk some football.
Let's talk some
Stock up, stock down. As I don't even know, like, when I see these super chats come in, and I know they're the funny names. Oh my gosh. I don't know if we put this one up. I don't know if we put this one up.
Yeah, Crimmy, hate to break it to you. We're not gonna put
I don't
that
know
up.
if we can do that.
We're making executive decisions here. We're not putting that
I
up.
don't know if we can do that one,
We
Crimmy.
are not.
Or I guess I should say Anna.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anna, we're not doing that.
That might be a
Appreciate
little
it.
much.
Yeah, we're going to get into the segment.
Chugs will take one more shot for you.
Yeah.
Chugs will take one more shot for you. He says, Chugs, don't have any offspring, please. Keep it to one generation of Chug.
No,
Dude, not cool. You know we live in Texas. Not cool.
I don't know if it's bad, but I don't think it's good. It was more so the name.
My
Yeah.
father was a chugger,
No, yeah.
and his father was a chugger.
How much for a Chugs boot today? 500? We're at 300? 500? I'll race you. If we get to 500, is that too low?
Double it.
1,000?
No.
600. All right, 550. We'll meet in the middle. 550.
560.
9.
560. Yes.
If we get to $569 in super chats, I'm going to do a beer boot race first Chugs. I don't know if I could do one more, but I'm willing to try. Anna says that they love you, Chugs. Anna, we love you. There's just this thing called demonetization that can happen on YouTube, and sometimes
we're just gonna not even take.
we're gonna err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
We're gonna err on the side of caution. No, that's Alabama, Bryce. That doesn't happen in Texas. That happens in Alabama.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Let's
shift
get
off
into
this
stock
topic.
up, stock down.
Let's start talking.
Let's close the show. Stock up, stock down. Sean Clowney, Buster.
We gotta get it.
Buster, Mr. Cherry, a.k.a. Buster. Oh, Lordy, this show is off the rails.
All right.
Buster, a.k.a. Mr. Cherry. Y'all can fill the rest in.
Yep.
He says, I'm sorry. No need to be sorry.
We're good.
Just, I will say this. He's Buster is outplayed Johnson U today.
He's
Johnson
looking
U
sweet.
definitely there's a new sheriff in town.
I think Johnson's gonna have to go back to like training camp.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to go away for a little bit, then come back with a virgin.
Johnson U, step it up. Step it up. All righty. Let me look at this script real quick.
About 4 hours ago.
Yeah. All righty. Let's get into it. Stock up.
Stock down.
Stock it down.
The best game show on New York Giants.
Stock up. Stock down. New York Giants. Let's go. Should I start the show like
yes,
that?
I was just going to say you have to. All right, you ready?
Let's do it. All right, you ready? You ready? Coming out of the first preseason game against the Detroit Lions, which players on Big Blue stock is up and which players' stock is down? We're going to break that down on today's show because you're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it. The player who I would say impressed the most and raised their stock the most is Jason Pinnock, the starting strong safety for Big Blue. He's been in a position battle all training camp long with guys like Dane Belton, Bobby McCain, 7th-round pick Jervarius Owens. But with the performance that Pinnock had, first play of the game, he had an interception. Second play of the game, he had a tackle for loss. And then before he was taken out, he had a pass breakup. Jason Pinnock's stock is up, and I would be shocked at this point if he is not the starting safety for the New York Football Giants Week 1 on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to ask you this question. Dane Belton is also someone that I feel like stock is up. He had an interception, and he had another interception at training camp on Monday. So I want to ask you, if you could only have one of these guys as a starter, who would it be? Type their initials down below. From stock up to stock down, Corey Cunningham as well as Wyatt Davis. I am going to include both these guys into one human being because they were both god-awful. They ruined my Friday night watching Tommy DeVito and this offense. I was begging, I was pleading for DeVito to be able to hit his back foot and have some time to read the defense, but he couldn't because Corey Cunningham had a terrible performance. And Wyatt Davis, a guard, was lined up at right tackle, and he also had a terrible performance. The backup offensive line was bad, and I'm a little bit concerned. So for that reason, Corey Cunningham and Wyatt Davis, their stocks are both down at this moment. Let's stay on the offensive line. Let's focus on the interior. What about the second-round selection, the rookie out of Minnesota, John Michael Schmitz? He was the lone bright spot on this offensive line. It looked like the Giants have found their starting center for the foreseeable future in John Michael Schmitz. 23 pass block snaps for Schmitz on Friday night. Didn't allow a pressure, didn't allow a sack, didn't allow a QB hit. He was great in the pass blocking department. I thought he also looked good in the run blocking area and aspect of his game. You saw the quick feet. You saw the strong punch, and you were getting a good look at the starting center of this team for the next couple of years. Show our rookie center some love, though, because I can't remember the last time the Giants had a stud rookie center. Was it Sean O'Hara? Has it been that long? Type his initials. Say my name. Type JMS in the comment section. As Giants fans, we got a center. Let's go to the defensive backfield and focus on Amani Oruwariye. I thought when the Giants signed Oruwariye in NFL free agency, he was going to be a guy that was going to make this roster, and I was ready to write it in pen. But at this point, I'm looking for a pencil with a strong eraser because I think Oruwariye gets cut. I just haven't seen enough from him in camp. He didn't look good in joint practices, and to be quite frank, he didn't look all that good in the preseason. And with the Giants using Trey Hawkins and Deonte Banks as the outside corners with Adoree Jackson in the slot, I don't think the need for too many extra outside corners is necessary. We know they like Cordell Flott. We know they like Nick McCloud. I think it's going to come down to Rodarius Williams and Amani Oruwariye to see which outside corner is going to make this team. And to be quite frank with you, Rodarius Williams didn't look much better as well. Let's go back to the rookie class, and this time, another day 3 selection. The interior defensive lineman, the nose tackle, Jordan Riley. And that's Jordan with an O. And I'm going to remember that forever because Jordan Riley really impressed me against the Detroit Lions. There were a couple of plays where the Giants had their backs against the wall. It was 3rd and short, 4th and short, run down situations. And Riley was not only able to take on blocks, he was able to shed blocks and make plays at or near the line of scrimmage. And the Giants, they needed another interior defensive lineman to take some of those plays off of the back of Dexter Lawrence. And Brian Baldinger, one of the best NFL analysts in the game, has noticed what Riley has been putting on tape. Quote, "This kid can anchor. He can hold his ground. You've got to love what you're seeing from Jordan Riley. This guy can hold the point." The Giants need this badly. They need this because Dexter Lawrence can't play as many snaps as he did last year. Jordan Riley, keep your eye on him, and I will. And if he continues to play like this, there's not going to be a way that Don Wink Martindale can keep him off the football field. You got Leonard Williams, you got Dexter Lawrence, you got Ashawn Robinson, and you got Rakeem Nunez-Roches, but you needed another guy that can eat up blocks and give you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 snaps in a game. And Jordan Riley looks to be the first backup right now behind Sexy Dexy. Let's stick on the defensive line and let's focus on a pass rusher who has not looked good in camp. He did not look good in the preseason, and that is Oshane Ximines, the former Old Dominion draft pick. He just doesn't have much pop. He just doesn't have much juice. He can't bend the edge. He doesn't pin his ears back. He gets washed down in the run game, and there was a reason the Giants didn't want to bring him back this year. But due to it being a numbers game at that position and them being more thin than they would like, they had to bring him back. I don't know if he makes this team, though, because there was a couple of young guys that we'll talk about in a little bit that really stepped up. We also have an awesome sale going on right now. I don't got my Nike tee on today. You guys know I'm a big Nike guy. Just do it. But there are Giants Nike t-shirts that are on sale. We've got crew necks. We've got t-shirts with the logo. You saw the Darren Waller jersey. Take advantage of the deals before they are gone by going to chatsports.com/NYG sale. That is chatsports.com/NYG sale. The Giants just need more production from Oshane Ximines. If you are going to want to be on this roster, if you are going to want to be a backup for Kayvon Thibodeau or Azeez Ojulari, you need to bring more juice. And to be quite frank with you, Mr. Ox, Oshane Ximines, he just doesn't have that in his game right now. But a player that I thought really flashed and really looked good on the edge. What about the UDFA Baldonado? Had 2 sacks in Friday's game. One was taken away because he slapped the quarterback's head, but I don't really care about that. I just loved that we saw a player from an undrafted status that looked really good, was able to bend the edge, had some burst off of the get-up, and was able to get downhill and put some pressure on the opposing quarterback. To be quite frank with you, Baldonado and Tom and Fox, the 2022 UDFA, looked both better than Oshane Ximines. And I'm not going to be surprised if Baldonado and Fox make this team over Oshane Ximines. Pick one of these guys to cut, though. If you were Joe Shane and you could only keep 2 of these players, who would be the one you would say bye to? Type OX for Oshane Ximines, HB for Baldonado, or TF for Tamon Fox. Let's go to the running backs. I thought James Robinson just looked kind of washed. I wasn't impressed with much that I saw from him. He broke a couple of tackles, and we know that he runs hard, but he didn't look athletic. He didn't look like he had any pop in the legs. He looked slow, and just with the way this running backfield and depth chart is shaking out, I don't see a way where he is one of the top 3. And if the Giants keep 4 top 4 running backs on this team, Barkley is better. Matt Breida is better. I think Eric Gray is better. And I honestly think the 2022 UDFA out of Florida State, Jay Sean Corbin, looked better than him. We saw the speed that Corbin had when he hit the outside and took it for a 30-yard gain. I also thought Corbin looked good in pass protection. He stepped up and he delivered a nice little hit and was able to give DeVito some time. If I'm keeping 4 running backs, I have James Robinson on the outside looking in. Could not talk about stock up and stock down if we didn't mention the Jersey kid, good old Tommy DeVito. With Tommy DeVito's stock going up, I got to be honest, I think Tyrod Taylor's stock is going down. If I met an alien and I met him on planet Earth and they had never heard of football and I told them what makes a quarterback great, and we went to the game and they didn't know who either player was, they would have told me that Tommy DeVito looked better because he did. He simply looked like a better National Football League quarterback than Tyrod Taylor did in the limited action that he saw. Do I think that means that DeVito should be QB2? No, because I still want to err on the side of having a veteran like Tyrod Taylor on this team, over 10 years of experience. But this might be the last year Tyrod Taylor's on this team, because we might have our new backup quarterback in Mr. Tommy DeVito. I want to bounce on out of here, but before we do, I want to ask you this question. What player's stock rose or fell the most, in your opinion, following Friday's game? Which player is doing better than you thought they would? Which player did not live up to the hype? Give me a name or a couple of names of players down below. And remember, you can always follow me over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_ down to talk New York Giants all day over there. So give me a follow right here at @MarshallGreen_.
Mine was easy. Mine was DeVito.
DeVito?
Yeah, because I didn't expect much, and he actually looked like a actual NFL quarterback. Also, I thought Deontay Banks didn't look.
Yeah, I could have included Deontay Banks on stock up.
But he didn't do anything where it was just like.
Yeah, and I felt like on that play where he was hip step for step and in the hip pocket of Jamison Williams, and there was an angle where it looks like he poked it out. I would consider that in the NFL he was beat, and I would consider that a drop by Jamison Williams.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
am I happy that he was able to stay in the speedster's hip pocket? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's a National Football League. All the receivers are fast, and I would say he got beat on that one.
Yeah.
I thought Trey Hawkins looked good. Had some plays where he gave up some catches, but I thought he looked good. I thought Cole Beasley's stock could have been up. I could have included him.
He just still gets it done.
Yeah.
Like I said, he still looks so quick.
Yeah.
So fluid.
Could have included Tommy Sweeney stock up. Could have done Micah McFadden. Carter Coughlin stock down. I feel like he missed a lot of tackles. But yeah, that's kind of my takeaways from that game. Velocity Cloudy says, "Sup, Marsh? Sup, bruh? What's up, bruh?" Alrighty, we are gonna bounce on out of here. We've been live for an hour and 40 minutes. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Awesome show, awesome turnout. We like to have fun on these live shows. We like to inform, entertain, and keep things light, but also bring the hard-hitting juice when it comes to the New York Giants. So thank you for everybody that stuck around during the madness that happened earlier, goofiness.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. We appreciate it. To everybody that super chatted, Buster, Anna, Sean, Eric, Sean, Anita, Sean, Trey, Corey, Gilly, Mass, Lumbagus, Gilly, Queenie, the MVP of today's show, $100 super chat, the GOAT, Gilly, Mass, Dat Boy Joe, Gilly, Craig Clifford, JV, and Tuto. To everybody that super chatted, we appreciate you. To everybody that tuned in, we appreciate you. Remember, we will be live Friday. Seeps, myself, we're taking down the Panthers, and also we're giving away 2 tickets to the game, Giants, Jets, next week. So if you want to win some tickets, tune in this Friday. We'll see you later.